What up, guys? ShadyCash here, bringing you another commentary. This one is Domination on Radiation. The setup is the L96 with extended mags. My secondary is ASP dual wield. Lethal is Tomahawk. Tactical is Concussion Grenade. Equipment is Motion Sensor. My perks are Ghost Pro, Steady Aim Pro, and Hacker Pro. My kill streak is UAV, the Blackbird, and the Chopper Gunner. Right off the bat here, you'll see I'm just kind of hip firing into the smoke. I figured my chances were about as good to hit them doing that as they were to scope in, so I was just kind of hoping for a cool little shot there. That's not something I spend the whole match doing though, trying to get off really, cool shots for a clip or anything like that. It's more something that just kind of happens by accident, and I'm like, oh, that's one I'm gonna set aside. But I do get some pretty nice shots off this match, at least for me, and a big part of that has to do with just the server advantage. What I mean by that is when you go, at the beginning of a game, when the game is first starting, right when everybody's choosing their classes, if you don't choose your class and you hit the back button, usually when you bring up the scoreboard, you'll see that one person has full bars. You'll also see it when somebody drops out of a match, if it sets up a new server instead of kicking you to the lobby. If you hit the back button right as the connection is being established, you'll see that one person has full bars. If that's you, congratulations, you are the server. And since you're the one receiving and sending the information, usually your bullets are always going to be on the mark, and you're definitely going to get hits before the other guy. Another good thing to do is when you see the game starting, you'll see, it's looking for a match and trying to establish a connection, and it'll say, 50 possible matches found, and it'll go down the list, and then it'll say searching for another connection. If it does this, basically it's looking for another connection with a lower ping rate, which means that you're going to be getting a little bit less connection if you're not the server, which usually if it does that, you're not going to be the server. The other thing is usually with me, if it goes past that and goes for looking for another game, which I have a pretty good connection here, and it doesn't tend to do that with me, then I just back out and I wait and I go try to find another lobby, because in all likelihood I'm not going to have that good of a connection. It could be a case where there's a whole other team of people that are close to each other, and somebody on their team is the server, and you're going to wind up having all their shots just registering really well, while yours always seem to be off point. If you guys play sometimes, and I know sometimes everybody has on and off games, but sometimes you'll play a game and you'll be like, geez, I got so many hit markers on everybody and I just couldn't get kills, or and then some games you'll play and you'll just get kill after kill, and it seems like all your bullets are hitting them. That means you've got one of those really great connections, and that's something you want to pay attention to. And basically, to ensure that I have a good connection before a match, I always go into the other room and hope that my girlfriend isn't using the computer, and if nobody's using it, I turn it off. Because, a lot of times there could be something running in the background, like, for instance, if you have iTunes, a lot of times, especially if you have a large library and a lot of your albums don't have album covers and stuff like that, it just sits there and constantly tries to update in the background. And I've found there's really no way to fix it. I turn it off and it seems to come right back on. Also, like just today, earlier before I was recording this commentary, I went into the other room and shut my computer off, and I went into a a training room, and I was just trying to mess around in there quick, and while I was in there, I was getting lag, and I'm talking in a training room. I didn't even think this was possible, And I was just sitting there trying to figure it out forever, like what the hell's going on. Finally, I go into the other room and I look, and my computer's updating. It's on the 9th update out of 9 updates. So I back out of it. Luckily, I wasn't in a real match, because I mean, it was really horrible. I'm talking like when I was walking afterwards, everything looked weird. But anyway, I when it was done, went into a match and had a great connection. Backed out. Went into the training room again just to try it. I was doing free for all with 11 opponents on Nuketown. So I thought, well, maybe that had something to do with it. But no, everything was perfect again. And, that all had to do with that update running on the computer. Especially if you're, using a wireless router and everything, it's always going to give your computer priority over your game system. And the other thing is it's not convenient for me. My router's in the other room, but if your router is by your gaming system, it's always going to be a better connection if you wire. Doesn't matter how much you spend on your router or how great your wireless connection is. Just technology-wise, we're not really at the point where you can, at least as far as I know, get a better connection wireless than wired. And your router also makes a huge difference. When I first got my first N Plus router, I had already had the N Plus adapter for my 360, and I was going to purchase one. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. And my old router broke, which was I believe a Linksys. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, it was about 2 a.m. so I had my buddy go to Walmart, and he goes there to get my router and comes back with a Belkin, like a $80 one, and I hook it up and just had terrible connection with it. I could stand it for about a week, and I was like, no, I'm not having this. Went to Best Buy and bought, I think they have it there for like $80-$90 now. I'm not trying to like sell anybody anything or anything like that, but I got the Cisco Linksys router, N Plus router, and I love it. I've had awesome connections with it. I also have a pretty good, I got a cable modem. I think I was looking today, I get an average of about, I think, somewhere around 30 megabits per second download speed, and usually around 6-7 uploads. So that's a pretty good one. I pay, pretty decent, not a lot. But if you talk to your cable provider or your internet provider, they'll let you know about what it's capable of, and you can go on the internet and just type high-speed broadband test, and it'll give you a list of websites that'll just do the speed test right there, which is what I did. And it's not just me with the Belkin thing. Since I've had that experience, I've had multiple friends of mine get bad connections online, and either it is usually because their computer is running, and right when they shut it off, all of a sudden, boom, problem is solved, or B, I ask them what kind of router they have, and they say a Belkin, and I tell them that's probably it, and usually they're in denial, and they're like, oh, that's not it, but sooner or later they do get another router, and they're like, yeah, that was it. So, but this match is drawing to a close, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys got a few pointers on getting a better connection. If you could, please post a comment below and let me know what you think.